Today we are present at the event, and that event is called Entrepreneurship Cell by IIT Kharagpur. Let's see what we have in this event and what we got in this event, what we'll able to learn from this event. Let's go and watch this event. So there is certain trend in the society or Indian society particularly that Indian mentality or Indian families, they tend to teach their children to proceed for 9 to 5 jobs and do not go for entrepreneurship or something. So how do we make that change, and how do we convince our parents or our elders to let us pursue our dreams, or let us pursue our happiness or entrepreneurship or something like that?
Okay. So India is land of opportunities right now. Things have moved a lot than they were 20 years ago. Now traditionally all the parents have wanted their children to be either engineers or doctors. But we see a whole realm of opportunities have opened up and people are progressing in other fields also. For entrepreneurship, I would say there is certain DNA. Entrepreneurship is certainly not for everyone, but some people have that DNA and they exhibit it in some format. If maybe the child has been taking some leadership traits, showing it in school or college days, if he is exploring some ideas, willing to take some risk, you should let him take those risks. Because ultimately what will happen is, if he's early in his age, he might falter, he might fail, but he will come back stronger. The learnings that it gives when you are into an entrepreneurship are much higher than you get in a 9 to 5 job. So I was into a 9 to 5 job for first 5 years, then I attempted an entrepreneurship for 5 years. Within 5 years I got almost 15 years of learning. I failed, but then I came back to a corporate for 3 years. The corporate valued my experience such a lot, you can't imagine that. So let the people take the risk, fail. If they fail, they will be coming in stronger. The corporate people will like them even more and they can again go back to the job. So there is no dearth of jobs and opportunities in India these days, but people should be open to taking risk and then jumping into entrepreneurship.
सर, हम लोग क्या इनिशिएटिव्स ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि इंडियन सोसाइटी में एक ट्रेंड बना हुआ है जिसमें हमने देखा है कि 9 to 5 जॉब्स या गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स, इसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा पेरेंट्स हाइप करते हैं. एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, ये एक वर्ड उनके लिए शायद अभी नया है, यंग जनरेशन्स के लिए अभी ये काफ़ी परिचित वर्ड है. तो कैसे हम लोग पेरेंट्स को इसमें इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं और उनको मॉडर्न सोसाइटी से कनेक्ट करवा सकते हैं?
बेसिकली कैसा है कि अब यही एक्चुअली इशू है आजकल सोसाइटी में. देखो, बच्चे तो समझते हैं, इवन फैकल्टी मेम्बर कॉलेज में जैसे हम जैसे लोग हैं, इनको समझता है कि क्या एक्चुअली रिक्वायरमेंट है. अभी वो टाइम गया कि 9 से 5 करो और वो जो भी उनकी 50-60 हज़ार मैक्सिमम सैलरी है वो लो. बट कैसा है, बेसिकली प्रॉब्लम क्या आता है, जब स्टूडेंट्स या कोई लड़का जब अपना कुछ स्टार्टअप करने का सोचता है तो वो घर में पूछता है. तो घर में क्या है, पुराना ट्रेंड ये है ट्रेडिशनली कि नहीं, बस तू जॉब करो और हमको एक सैलरी ला कर दे. बट होता क्या, इससे स्टूडेंट्स के रिस्ट्रिक्शन बढ़ जाते हैं. वो जहाँ पहुँच सकता है, उसकी कैपेबिलिटी है, वो वहाँ पहुँच नहीं पाता है. तो ये एक्चुअली सोच क्या है, इसीलिए हम लोग इस तरह के स्टार्टअप प्रोग्राम करते हैं. और हमारा कॉलेज भी है, बेंगलुरु कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, वो उसमें हमारा इंक्यूबेशन है और यहाँ से ये सब चीज़ें होती है. तो बेसिकली इस सब चीज़ों से कैसा अवेयरनेस बढ़ता है. और यही चीज़, और आजकल आप देख रहे होंगे गवर्नमेंट भी काफ़ी इसमें फंडिंग या फिर प्रमोशनल एक्टिविटीज़ कर रही है, सो दैट बाकी जो कॉमन पीपल है, पब्लिक से, वो अवेयर हो इस चीज़ से. तो बेसिकली यही चीज़ है, और अवेयरनेस से ही आगे सब चीज़ें बढ़ेगी और लोगों की सोच बदल रही है. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं है, बदल रही है, बट वो डेफिनेटली थोड़ा टाइम लगता है इस चीज़ों का. एंड ये सब चल रहा है प्रोग्रेसिवली.
सर, जिस तरीके से हमारी पहले की जनरेशन है, उनको लगता है कि एक जॉब अगर बच्चे को मिल जाए, 9 to 5 जॉब मिल जाए और उनको महीने का एक फिक्स्ड इनकम मिल जाए तो उसका लाइफ सेट हो जाता है. तो उन मेंटालिटी को चेंज करने के लिए या उन जनरेशन को थोड़ा सा एनलाइटन करने के लिए हम लोग क्या और स्टेप्स उठा सकते हैं सर?
नहीं, मेरा ये मानना है कि ये जो 9 to 5 जॉब का जो है सिस्टम, ये थोड़ा सा दो अलग अलग प्रायोरिटीज़ होती हैं. अगर आप जॉब सीकर्स हैं ना, तो जॉब सीकर्स में क्या रहता है कि आपको जॉब की ज़रूरत है और उसमें आपको जो भी आपका मालिक दे रहा है, आपका एम्प्लॉयर दे रहा है, उसमें आपको सेटिस्फाई रहना पड़ेगा. और अगर आप इसके बदले अगर आप जॉब गिवर बनते हैं, तो जॉब गिवर में आपके पास एक वास्ट रेंज ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी बनती है. आपके लिए एक पूरी दुनिया खुल जाती है. आपके पास 9 to 10 का नहीं रहता है और आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को अटेंड कर सकते हैं, जो कि 9 to 5 में नहीं होता. और मेरा मानना ये है कि एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि जो कन्वेंशनल फैमिलीज़ हैं, उनका ये मानना है कि अगर हमारा बच्चा 9 to 5 में रहेगा तो उनकी जो ज़रूरतें हैं, जो मेरे ख्याल से ज़रूरतें में माना जाए, जैसे आम रोटी कपड़ा मकान, तो एक जो मिडिल क्लास फैमिली होती है वो यहीं तक सीमित रह जाती है, लेकिन वो लग्जरीज पे फोकस नहीं करती हैं और एक लेविशिंग लाइफ स्टाइल नहीं जी पाती है, और उनको लगता है कि यही उनके लिए, मतलब वो जो खुशियाँ और सुख में डिवाइड हो जाती है। तो अगर आप खुश रहना चाहते हैं तो वो मिडिल क्लास वाले सोचते हैं कि यार हम जो है, हमारे पास आज साइकिल है, हम खुश हैं, है ना। लेकिन लग्जरीज लाइफ स्टाइल वाले वो क्या करते हैं, वो कोशिश करते हैं कि हमारे पास कार हो, और बड़ी कार हो, उससे बड़ी कार हो, एरोप्लेन हो। तो ये आपको 9 to 5 जॉब वाली सैलरीज के बेस पे आप ये सब नहीं कर सकते हैं। आपको क्या चाहिए उस समय, आपको एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बनना पड़ेगा, आपको एक बिजनेसमैन बनना पड़ेगा, आपको अपने आइडिया को आपके आइडिया को सर्विस में या प्रोडक्ट में चेंज करना पड़ेगा, और जब आप उस आइडिया और सर्विस को मार्केट में लाएंगे, उससे आप प्रॉफिट करेंगे, उससे लोगों को आप जॉब्स देंगे, तब आप एक हाईएस्ट पैकेज अर्न कर पाएंगे, और फिर उसके बाद आप अपनी लग्जरीज को सेटिस्फाई कर सकते हैं, मतलब तब आपके जीवन में सुख बढ़ते चले जाएंगे। तो ये सुख और जो खुशियां हैं उनके बीच की एक पतली सी जो लाइन होती है, तो ये लोग यहीं पे फंस के रह जाते हैं कि उनको खुश रहना है या उनको सुखी रहना है।
Sir, what are the advantages and disadvantages of being an entrepreneur?
Advantages is you don't work for anyone, you work for yourself. That's the first one. Second thing, it's you have one life. We all get one life. We have some dreams. We want to accomplish certain things. Of course, jobs will give you that satisfaction, but as an entrepreneur, you will be able to accelerate it very quickly. And most importantly, you will be able to get some very quick feedback on how you're doing as an entrepreneur, based on which you can make some decisions. Otherwise, you will have some life goals which you will be doing as an employee for several years in a company. But as an entrepreneur, you will be able to solve this very quickly. Third thing is you are in a situation to solve a problem that exists around you, right? And we all want to make and bring in changes in a society. But sometimes you don't get that opportunity. As an entrepreneur, you get that opportunity where your contribution towards the society in whatever way or form will change the way people kind of live their life, right? It could be in any sector. It could be healthcare, it could be agriculture, it could be e-com. So you'll be able to do that. And then you have the innovations which you will be able to drive very quickly. You don't have to wait for anyone to do this. You don't have to wait for anyone's approval to do it. You control your own destiny and you'll be able to do it. Then of course, every good thing comes with not a good thing side of it. As an entrepreneur, it's very stressful. At one point of time, I didn't take holiday for 7 years, which was not great. So you need to be sure that you are made for it before you even get into that journey. But of course, everybody should try it at some point of time. So that is one thing. Second thing is on the financial side of things, because things are very uncertain initially. So you will not be able to plan out your finances. You need to have the belief in yourself that once I cross that initial hurdle, things will look up, things will get better. You need to have that patience. And then that is something which you will have to go through anyway. So these are the two challenges I would say.
Sir, last question is that we talk about unicorns. India has produced 9 unicorns, 10 unicorns, but the amount of unicorns is much lesser than the amount of startups or what we can expect. So why there is the ratio which is very less in terms of unicorns and everything?
I think first question that we need to ask ourselves is why are these unicorns different, and what does it take for a company to become a unicorn? What are the success metrics? Those are certain things which needs to be asked. So if every company that startup becomes a unicorn, it means every product that is being built is successful, because a company will get into that unicorn status only if there is an uptake of that product. So naturally, not every product can satisfy everyone, and there is always going to be a selection process which the customers will go through to decide which is the product that I would want to use, consume. So that's why that selection process, the criteria itself is a very tough one, where many of these factors need to come into play. User satisfaction, user experience, then there is a compliance angle to it, then there is a team angle to it, there is an operational aspect to it, there is a regulatory side of doing things to it. So there are multiple challenges which a company will go through. and most importantly, the resilience of the founding team, right? And that is the most important thing. As I said in my session, that it's very easy to give up, but to continue that fight, to continue that battle, internal battle that you are facing, is something which is something very important, and that only very few who will get through that. So hence, there are very few unicorns, and I think that in India at least, that percentage will grow, and it has changed in the last 4 years. And the next coming years, the next 5 years, you will see more percentage of companies moving from just being a company to it's getting a unicorn status. That is something which will definitely happen, because things have got a bit more easier these days, unlike what it was during the between 2020 2010, and even 2010 to 2020. There were many companies who were about to touch the unicorn status, then COVID hit, and then they had to roll back their plans. So you will see many such companies moving or getting the unicorn status in the next couple of years. But I think the way it is in terms of the percentage at this point of time, I think it is a bit fair.
India is in need of young entrepreneurs and innovative entrepreneurs. IIT Kharagpur students have gathered here, have organized this event to encourage and enhance the limitations which are bound in the society, that entrepreneurship is based on some tier 1 tier 2 city people. But IIT Kharagpur students have taken initiative and organized this event to encourage people who have ideas and who can build their ideas to a unicorn. With video journalist Praveen Suryavanshi, I am Shantanu Agrawal, Maharashtra TV 24. Sir, what motivated you to organize this type of event in Nagpur, especially where our country is booming with opportunities and everything?
Sir, actually, we had found out the search that in tier 2 and tier 3 colleges, there aren't many resources to the students. They do lack in the resources and mentoring, right? So, what we are doing at Entrepreneurship Cell IIT Kharagpur, we are having this event. This is the 16th edition of EAD, and we are running it from 2009. It was an initiative led by our alums as well as the professors over there, right? So, what we are doing is our main motive is to promote entrepreneurship in tier 2 and tier 3 college, majorly of tier 3 cities. That's why we are conducting this event. We are inviting guest speakers over there who have their journey, who have passed those hurdles which these coming entrepreneurs would be having in their journey. If there is a slight 1% chance from this 1,000 people, if one of the participant over here would be getting some valuable insights, and might he be building his own venture, right? So that is our main motive.
So one last question: what are the obstacles you find in the society to becoming an entrepreneur?
Okay, so talking about obstacles, the main obstacle in tier 3 cities and tier 2 college students as well as tier 3 college students is the networking, right? They don't have that much of networking. They do lack in the mentoring. So yes, the main obstacle is of networking, and their in their subconscious mind, it is a fact in tier 3 colleges that getting a 9 to 5 job is what they are dreaming of, right? If they have an idea, sometimes students may be having an idea, but they would scrap it, thinking of that they don't have resources or they don't have that much opportunity in those colleges, in those cities. So yes, networking is the major obstacle is the networking.
We see nowadays that entrepreneurship has become a bit part of India also. We have produced a lot of unicorns. But what do you find the reason, and where do you find this reason that the amount of unicorns and the amount of startups, these are drastic change, or the ratio is very vast? How do you explain that?
Like the one of the reason for this drastic change is the funding and the mentorship opportunity. Many of the startups who are emerging right now, there are number of startups emerging, but they are not getting a valuable opportunity of mentorship and a funding opportunity, because of which they can't scale up their startups. And secondly, the our Indian subsystem, where we have to support the startup, it is very difficult to get in the market. Indian market and the US market are very different. So that's why you see in the US there are many startups are emerging, but in India there are lot of challenges we face here for the startups. And and most of this problem is only solved by the mentorship. And we entrepreneurship cell, like, and many start incubation bodies which are emerging right now to support, and NSDC and like that supports the startups and entrepreneurs to get the chance to be mentored, to be incubated. And this has been it is not that the number is not increasing, it is a slight it is growing gradually, but one day it will surpass the number of 100, and we will be the like a top one of the top country with a number of many unicorn startup, not in the India but globally wide.
Sir, what do you think that what is lacking in India uh, in terms of entrepreneurship? Is there the possibility that we have this population, this big population, and there might be a lot of ideas amongst all the young crowds, but they don't find investors? So, is there any chain or is there any platform where they can find investors for their ideas?
Uh, Most of the startups that have ideas fail due to the lack of investment. That's right. The major factor being that the Indian parents, the mentality of Indian parents is get a job, do a work, and do regular work. So, what's the need of doing this startup? And that's why they don't have time to search for funding. And their financial status is not also very good. So, they also don't have their own money, while the ones that are supported by their friends and family get an initial funding and get started, and rest depends on their strategy and the financial, and there also a luck factor that finding the right investor at the right point of time, it is very important. Like if you approach any investor that needs a start, that funds a startup at a early stage, and you ask them after a very long time, he might not invest in it, and the vice versa for the same. And the major problem also is that the colleges majorly support the placement after that, and the parents also are majorly inclined towards the entrepreneurship, not the entrepreneurship, they are majorly focused towards job, get a job and start the life. So if the people are motivated enough, they can get the funding. It might take time, they have to struggle, that is a lot of struggle, but the main motivation is they have to be the job givers and not job seekers.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to congratulate you all on this tremendous event and making all those arrangements. I know it might be very tiring, and but it was very good. Just one question I need to ask. How did IIT Kharagpur Entrepreneur Cell helped you in conducting this thing?
They have came in our college while giving us importance of entrepreneurship, which will lead to Indian students as well. For this, it will have a great rise and future for sure, and it will lead to an great goals, achieving their goals. We will thank IIT Kharagpur for this, giving us opportunity. Fully we will have a great growth in entrepreneurship too. Once again, thank you for this opportunity.
Sir, as we are celebrating entrepreneurship drive here, yesterday we lost a big gem of India, and I guess he was the most celebrated and most humble entrepreneur in this whole world. I guess we lost Shri Ratan Tata ji. Few words for his family, friends, or
First of all, it is a huge loss for our nation. My condolences to whole country as we have lost a inspiration to many. He was a great leader. He was a great entrepreneur. He was a great philanthropist. He has his views would be for a long time with us. That I can say. And today I would like to uh, have this event as a tribute to Mr. Ratan Tata sir. We are conducting this entrepreneurship awareness drive in Nagpur, and we have lost him yesterday only. So from our team, Entrepreneurship Cell IIT Kharagpur, in association with Venganga College of Engineering and Management, it is a tribute from our side to him.
India is in need of young entrepreneurs and innovative entrepreneurs. IIT Kharagpur students have gathered here, have organized this event to encourage and enhance the limitations which are bound in the society, that entrepreneurship is based on some tier 1 tier 2 city people, but IIT Kharagpur students have taken initiative and organized this event to encourage people who have ideas and who can build their ideas to a unicorn. With video journalist Praveen Suryavanshi, I am Shantanu Agrawal, Maharashtra TV 24.
तू ग हे कुठून आणलं?
आणला.
साडी पण वा, छान दिसतेय की.
हो, सरकारनं 1500 रुपये चालू केले दर महिन्याला. आणि लय दिसायची इच्छा होती म्हणून हा सदरा आणि ही साडी घेतली. आणि पुढच्या महिन्यात परत पैसे आले ना, मग छोटीला फ्रॉक आणि आपल्या कपिलेला माळा घेणार आहे.
बर.
राज्यातील भगिनींच्या सन्मानार्थ महाराष्ट्र शासनाची मुख्यमंत्री माझी लाडकी बहीण योजना. महाराष्ट्रातील प्रत्येक पात्र महिलेच्या बँक खात्यात दर महिना 1500 रुपये जमा होणार. सन्मान बहिणींचा, सन्मान महाराष्ट्राचा. नारी म्हणजे संस्कार, नारी म्हणजे भक्कम आधार, नारी म्हणजे अन्नपूर्णेचा अवतार, नारी म्हणजे शक्ती अपार. आणि या नारी शक्तीच्या सन्मानार्थ महाराष्ट्र शासनाने सुरू केली आहे मुख्यमंत्री माझी लाडकी बहीण योजना. या योजनेअंतर्गत महाराष्ट्रातील प्रत्येक पात्र महिलेच्या बँक खात्यात दर महिना 1500 रुपये जमा होणार. सन्मान बहिणींचा, सन्मान महाराष्ट्राचा.